side is the proposing team and that side is the opposition. So I will start the debate. We are in economic experts. So when individuals are chosen based on their skills rather than ethnicity, it naturally results in a workforce that is more competent. In Malaysia, workplace racial discrimination refer to unfair treatment or prejudice based on an individual's race or ethnicity within the professional environment. So findings obtained through the 2023 Malaysian Discrimination Situation Survey conducted by the Architects of Diversity in Asia, which surveyed 3,238 respondents, showed that 38% experienced discrimination based on their socio-economic status. So the director Jason Wee said the respondents experienced the most discrimination on social media when looking for a job and at work. So the findings shows that the Indians were found to be the most discriminated race when they look for jobs, and also the more likely to face discrimination related to wages compared to Chinese and Bumiputra. So the Malays in general have gotten comfortable due to the policies that have benefited them. Not all, but a large portion have. This breeds some politicians in UMNO to say, I also want to share as if it was a birthright. This entitlement mentality has hurt the Malays, especially when they can't get ahead in life without someone thinking they got through not of their own sweat but through affirmative action. Many point out that they can't keep blaming the Malaysian Chinese or Indians for their failures because Malaysia has been led from start to finish by a Malay, with every prominent politician a Malay with a handful of exceptions. So these incidents have a direct impact on the economic opportunities available to Malaysians of different races and ethnicities.
Thank you, Nisa. I agree with you. However, reducing opportunities for Malays would be foregoing the principles of meritocracy and equal opportunity. This could lead to a situation where Malays are excluded from economic opportunities, which could exacerbate existing inequalities. In reality, ethnic Malay account for 90% of the indigenous population. Thus, in Malaysia, the term Bumiputra and Malay are synonymous. The Malay quota was based solely on racial criteria. More unusual, the NEP was for the majority ethnic group, not the minority. The Bumiputra quota was applied to all institutions in the country, from intake to universities, to government procurement, to listing requirements on the stock exchange. A company wishing to list on the Malaysian Stock Exchange must have at least a 30% Malay shareholding. All Malays and other indigenous groups were eligible for the Bumi quota, regardless of personal circumstances. A child from a millionaire Malay family could access the Bumiputra only scholarship on the same basis as the children of a Malay farmer. Since the NEP touched on every facet of Malaysian life, soon it became openly acceptable to discriminate racially in any activity, even if it was outside the remit of the original NEP plans. Anything set aside for the Malay and Bumiputra community was simply justified on the basis of the NEP. One such anomaly is the discount for new houses. In Malaysia, it is normal for developers to give 5 to 12% discount for Malay buyers in order to ensure that their housing project meets the quota that 30% of buyers must be Bumiputra. In some non-Malay companies, senior positions had to be created and filled by Malays to meet job quota. The reverse, however, was not a problem. It is possible to have an all-Malay management or board without a single minority person. This system was not publicly questioned as it would have been seen as an attack on Malay rights.
Thank you, Michelle. But I have something to point out on the education aspect. The education targeting the needy rural Malays need to be extended to the poor Chinese and Indian as well. There is no need to dismantle the existing system. The racially motivated policies end up with racialized results. Admission generations of Chinese and Indian minorities are forced into taking more expensive options. But the question of accessibility still lingers, like how many more people are to be denied access to affordable education? Racial discrimination in education in Malaysia can occur at various levels, from primary schools to higher education institutions. It may involve unequal access to educational resources, biased treatment, or cultural insensitivity. An example on the issue happened early 2023, where the Education Ministry held the SPM examination workshop organized by SMK Infant Jesus Convent Johor Bahru, only provide the workshop for Malay students. So the ministry's response that the workshops were conducted to avoid disruptions to candidates who were preparing to celebrate Chinese New Year. But the headmaster claimed that the achievement of Malay students is very worrying. So they held the workshop as an effort to help them. So what about other races? Is it okay if they fail the exam?
Excuse me, may I interrupt?
Let me finish first. So it should be for the failed Malay students only, right? So why are all the Malay students included on the workshop? So skin color, language and ethnicity make Malaysians fully Malaysian. Shaping their access to basic needs such as education through offended policies does not reflect the values a pluralistic should uphold. The government could promote diversity in educational curriculum, implement anti-discrimination policies, and foster an inclusive learning environment. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Nisa. So, ladies and gentlemen, one of the main arguments that the proposed team mentioned that there is discrimination against non-Malay in education in Malaysia. They claim that non-Malay are denied equal opportunities and access to the education, and that is affect their socio-economic and political prospect. However, this is a false and baseless accusation. So first, Malaysia has provided equal opportunities and access to education for all its people, regardless of their races or ethnicities. In fact, non-Malay have benefited from the government effort to improve the quality and accessibility of education, especially in the field of STEM, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. For example, the government has established several public universities that offer courses and programs in those fields. These universities have a diverse student body with a significant proportion of non-Malays. According to the Minister of Higher Education in 2020, the percentage of non-Malay students in public university was 32.5%. So here, you want to say that a lot of non-Malay have failed. Therefore, non-Malay have not been deprived of educational opportunities or access, but have actually enjoyed them more than their population share would suggest. So how can you guys say that there is discrimination against non-Malays in education? Secondly, no, let me finish first. So secondly, the rationale and purpose of the quotas for entry into civil services, public scholarship, and public education, which are based on Article 153 of the Constitution of Malaysia. This is about responsibility and safeguard the special position of the Bumiputra and the legitimate interests of other communities. So this article also specifies ways to do this, such as establishing quotas for entry into services, public scholarship, and public education, which are not only for Malays, and they are not meant to discriminate or exclude non-Malays, but to ensure that the Bumiputra have the fair and adequate representation in this sector. This is a matter of justice and equity, not discrimination and equality. This is because Bumiputra are the original and rightful owner of this land, and they have sacrificed and contributed to the nation. Therefore, the quotas for entry into civil services, public scholarship, and public education are not a privilege or a preference, but a right and a protection for the Bumiputra, and a recognition and compensation for their sacrifices and contribution to the nation. So what Malaysia has given is already fair enough for all races and ethnicities. There's no need to argue about this anymore, actually.
Thank you, Ms. Alia. Okay, for the political discrimination. Generally, political discrimination is a significant issue in Malaysia. Political discrimination is a form of discrimination that occurs when people are treated unfairly because of their political beliefs or affiliations. It can take many forms, such as exclusion from political participation, unequal treatment by the government, or even violence. Based on the Malaysian Reserve, on March 2022, Malaysia's racial discrimination report has found an increase in incidents of racism, racial discrimination, and xenophobia in country. Political discrimination is sometimes tied to the concept of Bumiputra in Malaysia, which refers to Malaysia's indigenous people, including Malays, Orang Asli, and other indigenous tribes. The issue of Bumiputra special rights is a complex and controversial topic in Malaysia. The Malaysian Constitution grants the Bumiputra group special rights in sectors such as education, employment, and business. However, other ethnic groups in Malaysia have been accused of discrimination because of this. Bumiputra special rights is a provision in the Federal Constitution of Malaysia that guarantees special position involving Malay reserved land, public services, permits and business licenses or companies, and educational scholarships for Malays. However, the use of the term special rights for Malays is the cause of racial problems in Malaysia. Therefore, many citizens, including Malay themselves, question the rights and privilege provided under Article 153 of the Federal Constitution for Malays and Bumiputras in Malaysia. Hence, we need to stop these problematic issues. As Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim has said on Malaysia Kini News on 19 December 2023, he urged for a change in mindset and a condemnation of racial and religious animosity to strengthen the relationship between Malaysians and build a developed country. The heated political atmosphere during the 15th general election led to offensive and discriminatory narrative on social media platforms. Therefore, any form of discrimination is abhorrent and violates the ideals of equality and human rights. We must all work together to build a world in which everyone is treated with decency and respect, regardless of political opinions or affiliations. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, fellow debaters. So the proposed team has highlighted that political discrimination is a significant issue in Malaysia and it should be addressed. I respectfully disagree with their viewpoints. So first, I would like to remind the proposed team that reducing political discrimination would also mean challenging the constitutional right and privilege of the Bumiputras who have a special position in Malaysia federal system. So it would insult the Malay community who have ruled this land for generations. So these people contributed greatly to Malaysian history, society and economy, and they deserve to be respected and protected. So are you trying to question or challenge the constitutional right and privilege of the Bumiputras, which are the foundation and the pillar of our nation?
Excuse me, may I interrupt?
Sure.
Actually, I don't want to challenge that. However, for your information, I grew up in a multiracial society, so I have witnessed the difficulties that Chinese and Indians face, which are similar to those faced by Malays. However, the specialty is exclusive to Malays. Non-Malays are frequently treated unfairly and discriminated against in a variety of areas, including education, work, and politics. This discrimination can lead to sentiments of marginalization and exclusion, which can undermine non-Malays and the country's well-being. How to encounter this continuous issue that we need to stop?
Okay, I don't agree with you. It's not true that specialty is exclusive to Malay. The Bumiputra policies include Sabah and Sarawak native who are not Malays but indigenous Malaysian. So this group also face development, education and income challenges and deserve government support and protection. I hope you can see that Bumiputra policy are not discriminatory or unfair, but rather it necessary and beneficial to Malaysia development and nation building. So my next point is, challenging Bumiputra constitutional right and privilege may have consequence. So, do you know the consequence of challenging Bumi Putra constitutional right and privilege? No, right? Okay, so challenging the constitutional right and privilege of the Bumi Putra could have serious consequences, both legally and socially. This action might create racial tension and threaten national unity. Therefore, anyone who criticize or question Article 153 or the Bumi Putra policy could be accused of sedition, defamation, or incitement and face legal action or prosecution. So, Malaysia is a multi-ethnic and multi-religious country where harmony and tolerance are crucial in fostering peace and prosperity. So, the proposed team suggestion would only provoke anger and hostility from the majority of the population who are loyal to the constitution and the king. So, the recent statement from our Prime Minister, Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim, in which he expressed his support to the legitimacy and significance of Article 153 and the quota system for the Bumi Putras. He said that replacing the quota system with a whole meritocracy would only cause injustice to the Bumi Putra. Moreover, the quota system did not deny opportunities to other races because appeals could still be made if they were qualified. Therefore, he encouraged all Malaysians to respect and uphold the constitution and the social contract that was mutually agreed. Thank you.
So, to overall of the debate, in conclusion, we agree that the opposed team suggestion, which Malaysia has worked hard to give all of its people plenty of chances and benefit no matter what races or ethnicities they are. Malaysia also has committed to equal participation and welcoming everyone. The job possibility in both the public and the private sector has shown this. So the perks given to the Bumi Putra people are not privileged, but they are their rights and they are meant to make up for the past wrongs and bring the country together. So because of this, we don't think that it is necessary to suggest more steps to reduce discrimination, since Malaysia has already have a strong system that tries to give everyone the same chances. Malaysia's method of upholding constitutional principle and recognizing the different culture of its people is still a key part of making the country peaceful and progressive. Thank you. That's all from us.
Okay, so in academic education sector, do you think that there is need of sekolah kebangsaan jenis Cina dan sekolah kebangsaan jenis Tamil? Because they all can go to sekolah kebangsaan, and sekolah kebangsaan bidang kebangsaan Melayu or something like that. What's your opinion?
Our opinion is it's a need to have SJKC and SJKT because as you can see, there's a lot of like non-government school of their races, but it's kind of expensive actually. So there's other Chinese that cannot afford to go to their school. So it's a need to have SJKC or SJKT for them to have their same right as us, and they also can actually go to just sekolah kebangsaan, normal sekolah kebangsaan, so they have the same opportunities as us. And even Malay also can go SJKC and SJKT. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Indonesia, they like form a sort of unity macam they every name they don't follow the race. So everyone in Indonesia is Indonesian. So do you think Malaysia could contrast into that?
So our opinion is Malaysia is not, the system is different with Indonesia. Malaysia we are multi-ethnic and multi-racial, and also we have integrative system, not like Indonesia. So we can differentiate races and ethnic, and also it's actually following their traditional politics. Actually, their tradition, their traditions of names.
Identity.
Is it okay? Sure?
Yes, you said that only Malay as Bumi Putra should enter public university. But within ranking high achieving non-Malay, student Malaysian education. Malay as Bumi Putra, only Malay as Bumi Putra should enter public universities. But within allowing non-Malays also can increase Malaysian educational reputation. Allowing non-Malays to enter public university.
Well, like I say, actually, in public university, actually, there's a lot of non-Malays. Like I said this before, in public university, actually, there are 32.5% actually non-Malays in public university. So, what's the question?
For example, if you ITM,
Like we give Malaysia gives special rights to Bumi Putra to enter UiTM.
no, non-Malay can enter ITM.
And
Then
then
they will public.
non-public public universities. private university.
Private university. Private.
So you want to ask why?
I want to ask, why not normally also can enter university like UITM?
I think
To answer your question, I think in 2023 in Malaysia, public university has already admitted students from various ethnic backgrounds, not limited to Malays. Admission is based on academic qualifications, regardless of ethnicity.
I want to add, I think UiTM not deny their opportunities to come.
so. It means like it doesn't matter your to enter university. Doesn't matter your races or ethnicity. It's only if you are qualified you can enter. So it doesn't matter of race actually nowadays. So in this modern era. Is there any question? Yeah? Yes?
Just now, you mentioned that SJKC and SJKT is a need for supporting them. But don't you think that the existence of this ethnic specific school will interrupt the effort to promote unity among different races in our country?
Our opinions, nowadays SJKC and SJKT is open to everyone. As you can see nowadays, like many in the city area, a lot of like parents more send their kids to SJKC for them to learn their Mandarin, third language. So I don't think this will discriminate or separate our races. We're not fighting in Australia, so I think it's in our opinions.
But what do you think about singing Negaraku in Mandarin instead of in the language? Isn't Negaraku should be sing in our national language? Yeah, in SJKC. I'm not sure if it is to all, but I know there are certain HKC are using Mandarin to sing Negaraku. So what do you think about that?
I think it's actually not all SJKC, not all SJKC should do that, because we should do that because we think Bahasa Melayu is our Malaysian main official language. So we think that they need to sing Negaraku in Malay. It's better.
It's a must actually.
It's a must. That's our opinion. So we cannot fight about that. Because we cannot fight constitutional Malaysia constitution. Then any question?
Okay, I think, but if I may add, so you mentioned earlier UITM has accepted non-working scribe, but they are only accepted for postgraduate